Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 31st verse of the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Yatha nabhasi meghagau renurva parthivo anile evam drashtari drishyatvam aropitam abuddhibhihi. The meaning of this verse is, clouds and dust are carried by the air, but less intelligent persons say the sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. Similarly, they also implant material bodily conceptions on the spirit self. This is a little technical verse which describes the misunderstanding of the body to be the self, or misunderstanding of the external Virat Rupa to be the form of the Lord. In the previous verse, it was told that the Virat conception, universal form of the Lord, is imaginary. It is not the real form of the Lord. So why is it happening? That is explained here, that less intelligent persons, they cannot understand the difference between the Virat Rupa, which is a imaginary form, and the real form of the Lord, the spiritual form of the Lord. So, the example is given, dust is carried by the air, but less intelligent persons say the air is dirty. Air is not dirty. Air is different, dust is different. Air carries the dust. So, the dust and the air does not mix. They never mix. That's how the air carries the dust from one place and puts it in another place. So when it's putting in another place, air is remaining as air only. Just that the dust was here, maybe it is carried to some other place. So if the air and the dust were to mix, you think that the air and dust could be separated? No, it would not have been possible. So therefore, even though it appears like the air is dirty, but actually the air is carrying dust, and dust does not mix, air does not mix with the dust. Similarly, clouds are there in the sky, but we generally say commonly, sky is cloudy. Now, sky and cloud do not mix again. Sky is space, and cloud is there in the sky, yeah, but they don't mix again. Same thing, we are spirit soul, we got a material body. Now the spirit soul and the material body do not mix with each other. But as soon as somebody is getting a material body or entering a material body, that's the correct usage, immediately the thought is, I am this body. Or people say, identify you as the body itself, your body, which you are not. Or I am not my body. You are not your body. You are spirit soul. I am spirit soul. Every living being is spirit soul. So, the material bodily conceptions are imposed on the real spirit soul. So for this, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that we cannot see the Lord who is all spiritual with our material eyes, our present eyes. So, not only we can't see the Lord who is all spiritual, we can't even see the spirit soul within the material body. Any spirit soul, any person. We cannot see the spirit soul with these eyes. So then what happens when we see the outward bodily covering of the spirit soul by the body? Then we identify the person who is inside the body with the outer covering only. We have to accept, in fact it is our condition now, that we have to accept the presence of the living being by the presence of the gross body. Because we can't see the spirit soul. And with this, we cannot separate the spirit soul from the body. Body, of course, we can see, but we cannot separate the spirit soul from the body. Now, the Srila Prabhupada explains further, those who want to see the Lord with their present material eyes or material senses, they are advised to meditate on the gigantic external feature called the Virat Rupa. This is the instruction given in the scriptures. Because we are not able to see, the Lord is all spiritual, His form is completely spiritual, He does not accept any material form, He never comes in contact with matter, even when He comes to this material world. He is always spiritual, He is always in His original spiritual form, not only spiritual form, He is in original spiritual form. But we cannot see, we cannot perceive, we cannot find out. So out of His causeless mercy, He becomes visible. He becomes visible. In order to become visible, there is the Virat Rupa. Because this material energy is the Lord's energy, He accepts that He presents Himself in a form which can be seen with our eyes. And that form is called the Virat Rupa. So Virat Rupa is the form we can see with our eyes. But that Virat Rupa is not the actual form of the Lord. It's not the actual form of the Lord. The actual form of the Lord is completely spiritual. Now, very nice example Prabhupada gives in this purport, that when a person is going in his car, We can very easily see the car when the person is passing by in front of us. We can very easily see the car. Person inside the car, we may be able to see, we may not be able to see. Let's say the president goes out in a particular car. The car is written president of such and such a country or whatever. So, when the president is going in his car, looking at the car, we say, there is the president. President is going. Have you seen the president inside the car? No. Then, how are you telling president is there in the car? How are you telling? Because you've seen the car. So, for the time being, Prabhupada says, we identify the car with the president. President is different, car is different. The two are never the mixing up like that. But still, it is just a convenience for the sake of identifying, for the sake of seeing. Same way, those who want to see God immediately, now, I want to see God now, without the qualification for seeing the spiritual form. Because God, whenever He appears, wherever He appears in a spiritual form. So how can you see spiritual form? How can anybody see spiritual form? They cannot see. So in order to become visible for the people in general, the Lord displays the form of the whole universe as a Virat Rupa, or a universal form. Universal form. Even though the Lord is actually inside and outside of everything. He is inside the universe, He is also outside the universe. But in any case, we cannot see the Lord's spiritual form at all. Now, another example Prabhupada gives, the clouds in the sky and the blue of the sky, how we identify. The bluish tint of the sky and the sky itself are different. They are not the one and the same. But we generally think of the color of the sky. If you ask anybody, what will they say? It is blue. So that is the general conception. Sky is blue. Actually, the bluish tint is different, sky is different. The sky appears to be blue. Actually, sky is not blue. Sky is different, the bluish tint is different. Like that.